facts about time that you must know to boost your productivity. So let's quickly jump into the presentation, and within next few seconds, you are going to come with me on a wonderful journey on the topic, and that is biggest time wasters we must avoid. Now, before going to dig up the facts and figures about the topic, let me tell you a story. Once a king and a lazy man were very good friends. One morning, the king said to the lazy man, "Why don't you do work to earn some money? No one gives me a job. My enemies told everyone that." The king said, "You can go into my treasury and collect as much wealth as you can till sunset." The man rushed home to tell this to his wife, and she said, "Go and get the treasure. I cannot go now. Give me lunch first." After lunch, he took a nap for an hour. Then in the late afternoon, he picked some bags and went to the palace. On the way, he felt hot, so he sat under a tree to rest and ended up nothing. The palace gates had been shut when he reached the palace. So he learned the value of time. Time is a gift. There is only one thing in our lives we are never able to reacquire once it's gone. And I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about material items. I'm not talking about time. I'm just talking about time, and it's such a unique concept, unique idea, because when utilized correctly, it contains the ingredients to success, happiness, growth, prosperity, all the things we want. But at the very same time, if neglected, it leaves us with very little, because the truth is every morning when you wake up, you are living minutes you will never get back. You are breathing air you will never take in again. It is your one opportunity to embrace this, and every second sees a little or of it slip away. What if you just had one more day? What are you gonna do today? If you only had half of it, what would you do differently? What about half of that? How much time have you already spent worrying instead of doing something that you love? Time is short. Every one of us here has been given the same amount of time in a day. 1,440 minutes a day, 168 hours per week. Every morning we have 86,400 seconds to spend and to invest. And each day, the bank named Time opens a new account for you and for me. It allows no balances and no overdrafts. If you fail to use the day's deposits, the loss is yours. Time also calls for immediate action. The fact that time is short calls for something now. Now is the accepted time. Every time the clock ticks, it seems to say now. Life goes by, and it goes by so quick. You need to be in a big damn hurry. Time is running out. You should make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to stop wasting your valuable time and start living life with a sense of urgency. So let's share my views on the myths about time management. Well, let's have a look at some common myths about time management, compare them to some truths, and see how knowing these things can help you to become more productive and successful. The first one is time management equals accounting for every second. I started with this one because it's one of the most misunderstood ideas about time management. While many of us think that good time management is about controlling every single minute of work, time, charting, planning, assigning, in fact, this strategy rarely works. Why? Because if you have worked at a real job, you know that as much as you try to schedule things in advance, The real world constantly changes. Priorities shift. There's new information. Some things take more time than planned and some less. The next one is you can always find time for your priorities. Knowing your priorities and aligning activities with them is important. But you can still feel stressed since you can't change the time you have. Change how you feel about it. If you are thinking you don't have enough time, it will feel stressful. Tell yourself, I have all the time in the world. You will feel calmer, more present, and open to new and different solutions, allowing you to get more done. The next one is multitasking helps you get more done. A common time management tip that is actually a myth is the concept of multitasking. The more effective way to manage time is to practice mindfulness and be fully present in the moment, increasing the ability to both focus and recall information, which saves time and increases productivity. The next myth that I have for you, it's all about doing as many tasks as possible. If one gets millions of things done, especially at the cost of their body, mind, and soul, but few or more of those tasks help improve their professional and personal life. That is not wise time management. True time management is not about getting more things done in less time, but about doing things with an intention for a purposeful, successful, and happy life. The next myth that is you need a detailed task list to properly manage your time. A common time management tip that is actually a myth is the detailed task list. While it is important to list your tasks, it is more important to structure tasks in line with your strategic objectives. To master time management, know your desired outcomes and take 15 minutes to plan your next day the night before. Limiting your planning time increases decision making and productivity. The last one is you can manage your time. You can't manage your time. We all get the same 168 hours each week to do with what we wish. We can manage our energy to increase productivity. This begins with believing that there is enough time to do the things you deem most important. Now take a breath, close your email and social media, and focus fully on the critical activities to push your personal agenda forward. Now you can enjoy found time. Now let us have a look to the truths about the time management. We need to acknowledge the fundamental truth that time is one of our most precious assets. Once time is lost, it can never be recovered. Realizing this truth, we should treasure our time and strive to make the most use of our time. Time cannot be managed. What we can manage is the activities that we want to do. The truth is you will always have more to do than you have the time to do it. And you will drive yourself crazy trying to find better ways to get more done. Focus less on being efficient and focus instead on being effective. If you get really efficient at getting more done, but you are not doing the right things, then you are not maximizing your impact. When we do manage our time well, however, we are exceptionally productive at work and our stress level drop. We can devote time to the interesting, high reward projects that can make a real difference to a career. In short, we are happier. When it comes to career success, I believe that learning how to effectively use time to achieve your goals is a requirement. This is one skill that can create an immediate positive impact on your work and life in a more balanced way. Now we are going to the depth of this topic. We are going to the core zone of the topic, that is biggest time wasters in our life. Let's know the biggest time wasters in our life. The very first one is jumping from task to task. The first step is being more productive, is knowing what your priorities are. When you are clear on your priorities, you no longer feel compelled to jump from task to task. Rather, You can spend more, yes, you can spend your time doing what is important based upon what your priorities are. The next one is obsession with social media. One or two random videos which have no value addition are fine, but you do realize how time flies by and you end up spending hours on a phone or laptop screen. Later, you realize how much time you have wasted, which could have easily been utilized for other activities. It is best to set aside perhaps a maximum of 30 minutes where you can catch up with what's trending on social media. The next one is surfing TV. We are inundated with options to watch on television from Amazon, Netflix, cable, and more. But often, instead of tuning in to the one or two programs we are really love, we spend valuable time trying to find something to watch. Just don't do it. It's wasting valuable moments in your life. Move on to the next time waster, that is unorganized meetings. Eliminate as many meetings as you can. When you do schedule meetings, make sure there is a specific objective, agenda, and action items. When you leave so that your time is productive rather than wasteful. Moving to the next one, that is worrying. Focus on the things you can control and stop worrying about the things that you can't. If you don't have the power to change something, worrying about it is a huge time waster. Just let it go. Moving on to the next one, that is clutter and acquiring stuff you don't need. Whether it's in our office or in our homes, many of us are drowning in stuff. Keep your desk or an office organized so that you can find things when you need them the most. So it is best to maintain the pile, keep everything where it was, and declutter every once in a while. Get rid of things you don't need and reduce paper by scanning and filing things electronically. Moving to the next one, that is entertaining toxic people. If you know that the person you are right now engaging with is a negative and toxic human, then why waste time on them? It does nothing but increase negativity, adds nothing to your persona, and drains your strength enough. The next time waster is saying yes. When you overbook, your productivity will falter. When you are in survival mode, trying to tackle an overwhelming to-do list, your high priority items suffer. Say no to more, and that will leave room in your schedule to really focus on your high priority tasks. Moving to the next time wasters, that is doing other person's work. By this, I want to mean that you should help others. It is good, but finish your own work first unless it is an emergency. Tell your friend a time or set aside some minutes to work for others. No one will help you compensate for the time lost. Moving to the next time wasters that I have for you in the last one, going down the rabbit hole of content. When online, it's incredibly easy to get tied up with the latest articles, news, and must-read content that's hitting your inbox and popping at you. Instead of reading these items ad hoc, whenever you run across them, have a file where you save them to read for later. Schedule time daily or weekly to get your read on during a dedicated segment in your schedule. Now, let's watch a video.
Because I had to get a lot of stuff done. I sat down at my desk to start getting my stuff done, and I spilled my coffee, so I got a sponge to clean it up, and I figured I'd take an extra minute to clean the whole desk because a clean desk would help me get my stuff done. When I was finished, I realized I hadn't eaten anything, and I didn't want to be hungry while I got my stuff done, so I went to the kitchen and I was out of cereal. When I got to the grocery store, I remembered a bunch of other crap I needed to get, and I figured I was already there, so I did my shopping for the week, so I didn't have to worry about it while I got my stuff done. When I got home, I didn't feel like cereal branches so I wouldn't have to do them after I got my stuff done. And then I went out to get some oil from the hardware store because my desk chair was kind of squeaky and I didn't want to be distracted by a squeaky chair while I got my stuff done. When I got back, it was getting kind of late and I knew I wouldn't be able to get my stuff done today. So I started watching the Twilight Zone marathon on TV. I just have to make sure I get to bed early because I want to be well rested tomorrow so I can get my stuff done.
Well, this is a very much popular video on YouTube that is on procrastination. We are very much used to do this procrastination in our daily life. We are used to set aside the most priority tasks and we keep on doing the less important tasks in our daily life. So let's find out the forms of procrastination. We may procrastinate when we are unable to manage negative feelings around the task, such as boredom, anxiety, insecurity, frustration, resentment, and self-doubt. For example, if you need to make an important phone call to someone you dislike, you might end up procrastinating instead of just getting it done because you don't want to talk to them. This occurs because, in general, the more people find a certain task unappealing, the more likely they are to want to avoid it. They are averse to the task, and therefore, the more likely they are to procrastinate. When we avoid the hard things and procrastinate, we are wasting time finding ways to avoid the task rather than just getting it done. It often happens that we do not want to do something even if we are well aware that it has to be done. So we sit around, do random things which are less important just to do it later. Later, when it gets late and the deadline is on our head, the thought that it could have easily been completed earlier becomes null and void, giving us guilt. Sometimes we underestimate about how much time will be needed to complete a task or overestimate our abilities and resources over a task, believing that minor delays won't hurt. That is another form of procrastination. We often waste time talking about the task rather than doing it. Now let us have a look at how we can overcome procrastination. Whether your procrastination is a minor issue that's simply hurting your productivity or a major issue that is preventing you from achieving your goals, you have probably tried to overcome your procrastination on your own before and found it difficult to deal with. But if you take the necessary time to follow through some techniques, you will have an excellent chance at overcoming or reducing your procrastination. I will definitely do it tomorrow. We all must have used this statement. Just because of our laziness, we delay things and even sometimes postpone as well. Quitting the habit of procrastinating can help you grow in your career and future. But adapting a new thing is really tough, even it is a new habit also. So to get the best results, you have to win the mental battle for getting out of your comfort zone. If you don't keep an eye on the commitments you have made or you are making, there is no time management technique that is going to solve that. Arrange tasks in a logical order. Establish priorities systematically, differentiating between urgent, important, and unimportant tasks. Use a task planner to note action plans, deadlines, etc. Schedule specific times to do things you are mostly likely to put off. Monitor and adjust priorities and eliminate tasks on an ongoing basis. When you are faced with a big task, you start procrastinating and feel overwhelmed, waiting until the last minute and the task seems insurmountable. By setting priorities and breaking the bigger project into smaller tasks, the work is more manageable and less intimidating, and thus you can avoid stress and procrastination. To-do list is a list of tasks you need to complete and organize in order of priority. To-do lists manage tasks effectively, use time wisely, and improve time management as well as workflow. Changing your mindset rewarding yourself for progress, and letting go of perfectionism can all help you overcome procrastinating tendencies. Removing distractions from your environment makes it more likely that you will focus on your work and avoid procrastinating. So learn to say no to your time wasters, and that will help you focus more on your work and maximize your productivity. Now, let's move on to learn some steps to managing your time. The first one is know your biggest time wasters. I have already discussed about that, the biggest time wasters in our life and how to deal with them. The next one is set goals that are achievable and measurable. Set reasonable expectations and remember that no one is perfect. Prioritize tasks based on importance and urgency. Create a daily planner. Set a time limit to complete each and every task. Remove non-essential tasks and activities from your to-do list. Revisit and revise your plan whenever it's needed. So time and energy management can make you more productive and reduce your stress level. You need to follow the 3 steps: set goals, make a schedule, revisit and revise your plan. Some other steps are: be tough with your time, actively avoid procrastination and time wasters, learn to say no to distractions, employ a variety of time management strategies to maximize your time, relax and enjoy the extra time that you have discovered. Michael Altshuler rightly said, the bad news is time flight. The good news is you are the pilot. I don't know anyone who does not struggle with how to make the most of their time at work. How do you stay on top of an overflowing inbox? How do you get work done when your day is taken up by meetings? How can you get through a continually expanding to-do list? How do you even find time to make a list in the first place? The thing is, we can't really manage time. Time keeps on marching on, no matter what we do. Despite all of the energy and effort we spend trying to deal with it, there is really nothing we can manage and control about time. What we really mean by time management is our ability to plan and control the time we have in order to efficiently accomplish our goals. It's about balancing our tasks with the amount of time we have to get them done. So, my friends, if you want to spend your day more meaningfully and make your day productive, you must know your time wasters and stay away from them. If you start by eliminating the time wasters from your life, you will most definitely have more time to focus on the things that are most important to you. We should treasure each precious day, which is also a blessing to us, and make full use the day to bless others as well. Once we start to treat each day with this perspective, the day will indeed become a gift and blessing. So thank you for staying with me and wish that you have a nice time always. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Manabendra sir. Thanks a lot for introducing such a wonderful tips that how